This happens in the Valkyrie comics, which take place after the War of the Realms storyline. Jane Foster is no longer Thor. Now she's Valkyrie. At the start, she runs into a group called the Fast Five. Yeah, the name sounds silly, but just go with it. The group includes characters like Gold Rush, Silver Ghost, Green Light, who says like and subscribe, which you should definitely do, and Redline. They're goofy but kind of fun. One of them is holding Dragon Fang, the sword that belonged to Brunhild, the original Valkyrie. After the War of the Realms, many magical Asgardian weapons were left lying around New York City. Dragon Fang is one of them, and now someone else has picked it up. The fight between Valkyrie and the Fast Five isn't that important, and she beats them pretty easily. But Gold Rush manages to run away, only to get tripped in an alley. He drops the sword, someone picks it up, and kills him. That someone is Bullseye. He's been hired to kill someone, and now he has Dragon Fang, the perfect weapon. He says, "I'll let you know once I've killed the target." And no, the target isn't Jane Foster. No one cares if she gets taken out by Bullseye. We switch to Jane talking with Brunhilde's spirit. Jane feels awful about losing Dragon Fang and her winged horse. Brunhilde tells her that to find the sword again, she'll need someone who can see everything. That leads Jane to team up with Heimdall. As many of you know, Heimdall can see nearly everything. His vision has gotten weaker since the War of the Realms, but he's still powerful. Still, this scene is really a test to see what he can still do. But even Heimdall doesn't see much, and Jane's own Valkyrie vision kicks in. The ability to see when someone is about to die. But Jane isn't fast enough this time. The person Bullseye was hired to kill is Heimdall. Bullseye stabs him right through the chest. Heimdall isn't dead yet, but badly hurt. While Jane freaks out, Bullseye mocks Heimdall, calling him the god of seeing, who couldn't even see death coming. Now Bullseye is on a winged horse holding a magical sword. It's one of the coolest things ever. Jane has a special weapon too. It's called Undriarn. It's made from the Mjolnir of the Thor from Marvel's Ultimate Universe. This weapon can transform into anything Jane needs. As Heimdall lies bleeding, Jane faces Bullseye. She knows who he is, a murderer who can turn anything he holds into a deadly weapon. Now he's holding Dragon Fang, which boosts his already insane weapon skills. Bullseye is already one of the deadliest fighters in the Marvel Universe. With Dragon Fang, he's even more dangerous. Bullseye seems to gain the upper hand, and even though Jane fights back, he isn't out of the fight. His winged horse kicks Jane in the head, leaving her stunned. Bullseye taunts her, saying the kick was magic and now he's got the anesthetic, clearly enjoying himself. Then he jokes, "Just one question for the record, when you ever date Daredevil?" Even while about to kill Jane, Bullseye keeps cracking jokes. He says, "I love killing people, and this time I'm getting paid big." But Heimdall rises again, furious. He says, "You dare attack a Valkyrie? You're made of mud and meat. Let me show you war." Bullseye just laughs and stabs Heimdall again, this time fatally. Jane grabs Dragon Fang from Bullseye, but it's too late. Bullseye kicks Heimdall off the building. Then he gives Jane a choice: catch him or stop Bullseye. Of course, being a hero, Jane flies after Heimdall and catches him before he hits the ground. She can't fully save him, but she can buy time. Heimdall is still barely alive. Jane talks about how much Dragon Fang means to her, because it represents Brunhilde's legacy. But Heimdall challenges her thinking. "Is a sword really sacred?" he asks. "It's just metal and spells. If a man like Bullseye can use it, maybe it's not so special. Maybe you just made it sacred in your mind." He says sometimes you have to let go. Lady Jane knows that lesson, but can the Valkyrie learn it? Then Jane sees Death's head floating over a veteran nearby, meaning he's about to die. She realizes Bullseye is targeting that man next. Bullseye throws the sword and Jane barely saves the man in time. But keep in mind, whoever wields the sword not only can summon a winged steed, they can recall the sword back to themselves, which is exactly what Bullseye does. He literally just whistles for it, and it comes flying back into his hand and the game is on. And it's pretty dope because he comes flying down on her like this angel of death. And he's like, "It's a sword, dummy, it's a weapon, and weapons love me. And when you're dead, I'm going to put it to work on all these gawkers. I'll cut out their spines and make a sign out of all of them. A sign of spines." Bullseye was here. Just because I can, and lady, I absolutely can. With this sword in my hand, I can do whatever I want forever, and if you don't think I won't, just wait and watch. And there's literally all these death heads over all these innocent people, and that's where she starts to realize Bullseye is telling the truth. He will kill every single person here for no other reason than the fact that he can. So ultimately, she kind of has to let the idea of Brunhilde go. She summons her weapon into literally a gauntlet, and when that happens, it shatters Dragonfang, destroys Dragonfang completely, and at that point, Bullseye is taken out. Just like that. I mean, she literally just incapacitates him with a quickness because now he's just a dude. In response to this, because Heimdall is basically dying, Valkyrie fulfills her role when she removes his spirit from his body and then takes him to the afterlife. The kicker about this is, she does not take him to Valhalla. Instead, like we mentioned in the video with the death of immortal Thor, she takes him to the place beyond the far shore. Now this does go into that journey, right? They travel through the multiverse. They end up in the far shore, or at least Heimdall travels to the far shore. And that's when he ends up in the land of the dead from immortal Thor.